Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is the place to be if you want to build a creative or handmade business online and carve yourself out a little niche of the internet. I've just bashed my mic, so I do apologize if that was really loud. But today we're going to be talking about when it's time to move on from Etsy, and even if there is a time that you need to kind of think about moving on from Etsy. Now, a lot of you guys know that I love Etsy and I do teach a lot about Etsy, but I'm not just a Etsy girl. I'm not just a Etsy coach. I am actually a creative and handmade business expert. So I have come on today because I'm going to be talking a little bit more about when you know it's time to move on from Etsy. Now, I'm not talking about, whenever Etsy changes things, we get these sways and hordes of people that say, I'm going to boycott Etsy and I'm going to leave Etsy. And while all the more power to them, that's not what this video is all about. This is actually about looking at it from a business standpoint and weighing up all of the options rather than doing it out of a place of hatred or wanting to just leave because you want to boycott the platform, if that makes sense. So if that's you, you might want to just like click off of this video because this might not be for you. But for those people who have had just that little voice that's been like, maybe it's time to move on, maybe this video is totally for you. So before we get going, give this video a big thumbs up so that I know that you like content like this, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell because you want to know when I'm going to be doing videos, which is every single Tuesday. So the first thing that I want to say is that this video is for those who are making regular sales. One thing I do hear quite a lot is people are like, I'm starting to feel like I'm ready to transition, not off of Etsy per se, because this video is not about coming off of the platform, it's more about expanding your reach online. And people say, you know what, I think I'm ready for my own website. I think I'm ready for a Facebook group, or I'm ready for all these things. And when I say to them, great, okay, what's your sales numbers? They're like, oh, I haven't sold anything yet. And that's one thing that I am going to say that Etsy is fantastic for. It is getting your business off of the ground, testing, understanding who your target audience is, and really getting to grips with what your business needs to look like in order to succeed, to scale. When you're ready to quote unquote move on from Etsy, leave Etsy, you should have a proven business model, a proven target audience that you're ready to expand. And like, there's loads of ways you can do that online. I do teach a lot about that on my channel. But regular sales, and when I say regular, it's got to be sort of daily sales here. Enough for you to know, right, I'm ready to expand, I'm ready to kind of go to other corners of the internet. So again, like, the second thing would be that you know your target audience really, really well, and you know where they are online, you know what kind of people they are, you know what kind of like thoughts they have, what problems they have, you know where they are online, because it's going to be really hard for you to come off of a marketplace that's bringing you constantly targeted traffic to the vast ocean of the internet at large and actually know how to get those same people coming to you. Because what you're essentially doing is you're saying, no, Etsy, I do not need you to bring me targeted traffic that's in my target audience. I'm going to go and do that myself. That's fine, but you need to know how to do that yourself. You need to know where they are, where you need to go, how you need to reach them, what you need to say, what problems they have that you need to solve, and also your product as well. You need to make sure that your product actually is a product that people want. And if you haven't made sales on a marketplace or on a platform that brings you people in, it might take you a long time to figure that out because the whole process is taking longer, if that makes sense. So the third thing is that you are ready to build a brand and not just a shop. So a lot of people will have different goals for their business. Someone who's just started out on Etsy wants to make some money. They want to kind of prove the concept. They want to be able to make some money. They want to, really get into the trenches of a business and learn as they go. Someone who has been on Etsy for like a year, 2 years, 3 years, and is ready to expand, they know that their brand, that they know that they're on to something, and it is a mindset shift. So if you are like, I'm still in it to purely make money, then transitioning off of Etsy may not be the way forward for you, because you know Etsy's bringing you that money, and it's kind of like, why would you stop that, if that makes sense? However, if you're ready to build a legacy brand, and that is something that I use to describe brands that are going to leave a lasting impression and do good in the world and be really helpful for people, you know, that is a legacy brand. That is doing something good in the world, right? There's a definite difference between those, and you can sense it in who they are. But if you're someone who just wants to make money, you have different priorities and goals versus someone who wants to leave a lasting change and just do good in the world. Yeah. So it's a mindset shift. And if you're ready for it, then definitely like your expansion is there. It's waiting for you. But it is that mindset shift. And although, you know, as a business owner, obviously you're in it to make money, but some people, that is all they want. They want to turn a profit, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. Whereas some people are like, they've been turning a profit for a few months, a few years, and now they're ready to expand their reach and become an expert in their industry, right? So, you know, for example, I'm going to like be honest. When I first started Handmade Bosses, I was like, okay, there is a market here. I'm kind of good at this. Let's like make a bit of extra money. Now it's not about that. Okay. Now it's like, if I can change someone's life, if I can help someone to, you know, be more in charge of their financial future, bring their gifts to the internet at large, then I'm there for it. I'm living for it. And if I didn't want to build a legacy brand, I wouldn't be giving out free content and free stuff all the time. It would be all about money, wouldn't it? So that's the shift, guys. And I really feel like when you're ready to rise, when you're ready to carve out that corner and that niche of the internet and really bring your work and your gifts to the world at large, that's when you're ready. Does that make sense?
Bosses, we've been having some really great conversations in today's video. However, I'm here to tell you about this. This is called your conversion rate, and I've actually made for you in the description box below a free 90-minute conversion rate masterclass. So I'm just going to quickly explain to you in 1 minute why this is important. Okay. So this is your Etsy shop and these are your customers. So let's say that you get 100 customers into your store and you have a 1% conversion rate. That means you get one sale, and roughly that's going to be about $30 to £30. But what happens when we increase that conversion rate to 2%, 3% and above? This suddenly doubles, triples, quadruples without you having to change anything. Now, getting customers into your store costs time, effort, and money. But what if you didn't have to change this, you didn't have to change your shop, all you had to change was this conversion rate? That is what I'm going to be teaching you in today's masterclass. So whether you're a newbie or a seasoned Etsy shop owner, get yourself down below and register for that masterclass so you can increase this number. Back to the video.
So one thing I do want to say is that you're not ready. This is going to ruffle some feathers. You're not ready to transition off of Etsy if you just want to avoid fees. I get this a lot. I get a lot of people that say they don't like the fees, they don't trust Etsy. And while I respect everyone's choice, whether they want to go on Etsy, whether they don't, if you're looking to avoid fees, I hate to break it to you, but you're in the wrong business. Like, you need to go do a hobby, because there are fees in all aspects of business, whether you have your own website, whether you sell on Amazon, whether you sell on, you know, New Monday or Folksy or any of the other reasonably obscure other marketplace platforms out there, you will always have fees, because that's the nature of business. If someone had a marketplace or said that they would bring you sales but didn't want any money in return, that's a bit of a red flag situation. This will happen in any business, guys. So if you're looking to get off of Etsy to just avoid the fees, I'm gonna be the bearer of bad news here, but you're never gonna avoid it. And instead of spinning your wheels trying to avoid paying fees, there's better ways you can do it. There are pricing videos on my channel that is gonna like teach you how to price in a way that you don't even care about fees, you know. The next thing is you have some time to invest into expansion work. And I say expansion work because it is work, but it's also a kind of legacy expansion, if that makes any sense at all. You're a big dreamer, you know you have these big goals, and now it's time to actually take action on them. But it will take time, and you do have to have some time to invest. So if you're already spinning all your plates in your current business and you know you don't get time to do all these things, how on earth are you going to get time to do this expansion? So it could be that rather than taking that big step now, it could be that actually you focus on streamlining the business that you have and taking yourself out of it a little bit more so that you have the energy and the time to really do this work. And the last thing is you really love what you do. There is no point expanding on a business that you've fallen out of love with. And sometimes we can have this little annoying niggly feeling that is telling us you don't love this anymore. And that's when we start to get restless, we start to get bored. But you do have to love what you do before you can do this expansion work. Trust me, I have been there before where I've tried to grow a business I didn't love because I thought the money would make me fall back in love with it again. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. It really doesn't. It actually makes it worse because now you've got more responsibility doing more things in a business that you don't love, even more than you didn't before. So you've got to really love what you do. You've got to live, eat and breathe it. You've got to believe that what you do does something fundamentally good in the world. Before you start to expand. And I know I've talked a lot about expansion, but it is that element of I'm ready to bring my work to other people rather than people actively searching for it on a platform, if that makes sense. So honestly, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that video. I really hope that it did help you. And if you are still considering jumping off of Etsy, let me know in the comments, like, what's your reason for it? Are you considering jumping off or jumping on, or like how do you feel about everything that I've spoken about in this video? It'd be really interesting for me to hear and see and I guess read all of the comments. So guys, I really hope that you have enjoyed this video. I will catch you in the next one. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye everyone.